Okay. Yeah, it is quick for sure. You can definitely feel the power at the lower end as opposed to the top end. Like, it dies down a lot at the top end. This is not a hot hatch by no means. Yo, what's happening everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while. It's your boy Ranj. As you can see, I've got the S3Ranj branded hoodie on today. As you can see, I am in a car. I'm not in my daily. I am in a BMW. I'm in a 435D X-Drive, and today we're going to be reviewing this car. I thought this would be such a good car to review. It runs around 310 brake horsepower, I think around 470 foot-pounds of torque. This is the dictionary definition, in my opinion, of what a sleeper is. It's amazing. Comfort, speed, practicality, looks. Even though this is one of my family members' car, I've never actually driven this before. So let's take it for a drive and we will talk through the specs of this particular model, why I think it's amazing. Because think about it, 310 brake horsepower, around 470 newton meters of torque. I think stage 1, these can see around 450 brake horsepower. Well, sorry, stage 2, they can see around 450 to 500 brake horsepower, which is crazy. So let's quickly touch on the extras, or the optional extras on this car. So it comes with the optional Icon LED adaptive headlights, which is absolutely a must in my opinion. It's got front and rear parking sensors. This one's got the upgraded M Sport performance brakes. It's got the powerful mirrors, and because it's a coupe, it actually comes with pillarless windows, which is really cool. And when you kind of open the door and kind of close the door, the window goes up and down very slightly, which is a really cool feature. So it has got an assisted tailgate lift, so which basically means that the boot opens and closes itself. Interior wise, really cool. So the steering wheel, which is really nice, it's got the flappy paddle gear shifters. So this 435D does have a digital dash, but not like the one in my S3, but nonetheless it's really cool. And it's really unique, to be fair, because you will not find this in every 435D, 365D, and I don't even think it comes in the M3 or the M4, the F80 platform, which is really cool. Overall, really well spec'd car, and the seats are really cool. So it's got a memory function and fully adjustable electronic seats, which is really cool, and I wish I had that in my car. So we're going to start off in Eco. No particular reason why, it's just it is already in Eco. So this particular model actually has a heads-up display. I've never driven a car with heads-up display. It's extremely smooth. Like, you can just tell it feels luxurious, like a really luxurious car. These actually run the M Sport brakes, so I think it's 4 piston calipers up front and then 2 piston calipers at the rear. I could be totally wrong, but if I am wrong, I will pop the correct brake description on the screen, as I always do. This also has like the virtual kind of cockpit. It's not a full virtual cockpit like the one in my S3, but it is kind of a digital dash, and I think that was actually one of the things that was quite a rare spec when my family member bought this car. The Harman Kardon sound system, which is really cool. I've heard this sound system before in other BMWs. I much prefer the Bang & Olufsen sound system. That's just personal preference. But yeah, extremely smooth. Like, that's the first thing you notice when you drive this car, how smooth it is. I mean, it drives so well. And it's really quiet. And do you know what? Even though it's a diesel, it doesn't sound like a diesel. And I don't know if that's just because it is a 3-litre straight 6 twin turbo. Yeah, you can definitely feel it does feel nippy. I mean, I'm only in efficiency, but it definitely doesn't feel like no slouch, should I say. For me, even though the competitor of this car is like the S5 and stuff like that, one of the reasons I'm actually reviewing this car in particular is because a lot of people who wanted to buy an S3 were like, Ranj, should I buy a 335D or a 435D instead? Because they're just as good, and like, you know, they're better in terms of practicality, better fuel efficiency, they look really nice. Stage 1, stage 2, they're just as quick. Like, I've seen videos of 335D stage 2 beating like RS3 stage 1, the facelift. Obviously the big differences compared to my S3 is the space. Even towards my, you know, my daily 1 series, it is extremely spacious in here. I think you'd be comfortable if you were like 6'2", 6'3" easily. Even in the rear, I think somebody who was like 5'10" to 6 foot could easily be comfortable in the back. Not 3 people, but 2 people, absolutely. But overall, extremely modern in here. Really nice big MMI screen. It's got the iDrive system, which is obviously really popular amongst all BMWs. I do also think that BMW do spec their cars a lot better than the cars in the VAG range, should I say, in my opinion. I think for the price point, I think there is no better daily sleeper than this car. It is the all-round perfect car. With it being X-Drive, you know, no matter the climate, no matter the road terrain, you're always going to be okay. Maintenance, I don't know, I'll have to ask my family member what it is, but I can't imagine it's anything more than a standard stock S3. Practicality wise, absolutely, because it is bigger. It's just that that's it does feel bigger. I mean, even though it's got the performance, which we'll test in a second, it doesn't feel like a hot hatch. Obviously it is a much bigger car, but you know, for some people with small families or young families, this might be the kind of perfect car for them, as opposed to an S3 might be too small. What we'll do is, we've got like a sport button here. We're going to put, so it's got 4 modes: Eco, Pro, Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. Sport Plus automatically turns traction off from what I can see. The dials light up red, which is really cool. A little bit of weight is applied in the steering when you put it into Sport Plus. So it's got a really responsive gearbox. So it's an 8-speed automatic gearbox. I don't know the exact specification, but I know it's 8-speed. But I'm in manual right now, and full control, it is fast. Like, you can hear like the gear changes. Like if I downshift now from 3 to 2, that's pretty much instant. And then again from 2 to 1. There you go. Really fast gear changes. It's actually a dual carriageway, which will test the speed out in a sec. But handling wise, I mean, it's very fast. It doesn't feel like 310 brake horsepower. It's really weird because this feels a lot quicker than my S3 did stock. Okay. Yeah, it's quick for sure. It is quick, right? It is quick. You can definitely feel the power at the lower end as opposed to the top end. Like, it feels like it dies down a little bit at the top end. And also in terms of the handling, that's where I feel like it's let down, and obviously rightfully so. This is not a hot hatch by no means. It's obviously, it's almost a sedan car, but it is let down by the handling. It almost, when you put your foot down and you go around the corner, even though it's 4-wheel drive, it feels like a big boat. That's the best way I can describe it. It just feels like a boat. It doesn't feel tight. It doesn't feel squatted to the ground. And that's why I can probably appreciate why most people don't straight away for this kind of price point, because they are very similar price point to like an S3 8V facelift. So my car stock, you can probably pick one up maybe cheaper, and it is overall better spec, but they probably don't because it doesn't drive like a hot hatch. But rightfully so, it isn't a hot hatch. It might have similar power, but it certainly is no hot hatch. Stock for stock, comparing it to my S3, it's like, it feels really quick like at lower end speeds, but when you get to like 60, 70, it really dies down, and that just kind of goes. That's the only way I can really describe it. I know, admittedly, that's not the best way to describe it, but it's the only way I can feel like I can really describe it. So yeah, but saying that as well, most people who buy 335Ds, I think if you were to put some coilovers on this, you know, completely transform the car. But then again, would you buy 435D to modify and then compete with an S3 or an RS3? Maybe. I think the benefit of this car, the 435D or the 335D, is the fact that you get power and you also get good efficiency. So I'm pretty sure on the motorway these are amazing. They probably return crazy MPG, you know, way better than an S3 and way better than like a 140i or a 345 or a 440i, so that B58 engine. I don't really like is just the feel of the drive, so the handling. I think that's what lets it down for me. I quite like a tight, close to the ground, squatted kind of car. My S3 is perfect for that. I'm actually going to be changing the air ride to the back to the coilovers, because I just could, when it was on coilovers, everything about it was just perfect for me. Now, bearing in mind, for some people, they'll be like, getting into an S3 is too harsh, it's horrible, and they get into this and it's super luxurious. I think day-to-day driving, motorway driving, this would be much more favourable to many people, but for me, now I'd still pick an S3. I haven't got my draggy with me, otherwise I would have tested the 0 to 60 figures, but from what I read, I think it's like 0 to 60 is 4.5 seconds or 4.6 seconds, which is pretty good. I think if you're looking for a car with performance, practicality, space, a luxurious feeling, a car that comes with awesome specs from factory, this is the car for you. The 435D is a great car for you to purchase. I mean, this particular one is highly spec'd, but I think most of the ones I've seen online between 15 to 20 grand are pretty well spec'd. Going over speed bumps in my S3 was always and always has been a bit of a trouble. In this, it goes over them effortlessly, really smooth. This is one of the smoothest cars I've ever driven. but at high speeds and around corners, which I appreciate it wasn't designed for, it really struggles. And what I mean by struggles is it just doesn't shine. This car shines on the motorway, it shines when you just want a nice smooth drive, and you know, you've got that power available. So if you need to overtake somebody, you know, that power is there if you really need to do that, irrespective of whether you're in efficiency, comfort, sport plus. It is a great car, but for me, I just need something that around corners at high speed, it feels confident and it gives me loads of confidence, and this car just doesn't do that for me. I don't know if the 340i or the 440i would feel any different. I can't imagine it would, but again, I don't think those cars are designed to do that. Nobody could argue that this isn't a quick car. I mean, it is a quick car, but it just, for example, we're in gear 2, 15 mile per hour, I put my foot down, loads of reaction, gets to 40. You know, it's a really good 0 to 60, you know, 30 to 60, kind of 30 to 90 kind of car, but then after that, it's just not there. I hope you have enjoyed this video. It was just something different for my channel. If you want to see more of these reviews, let me know. Yeah, please subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, hit that bell icon for future notification. And yeah, stick around. I've got plenty of exciting content to come from my channel. And yeah, just exciting things all together. Please take care of yourselves. Until next time, take it easy. Peace.